Social media is the solitary activity of typing messages online to mostly imaginary friends. Because real friends are people that you hang out with, you spend time, you get to know before they really qualify as a friend. But now the word friend has lost its meaning. In fact, it's become a verb. You friend someone. This could be a friend of a friend of a friend that you once friended on Facebook. And frankly, you know, instead of all of these fake friends, wouldn't it be more useful to know who our real enemies are? See, this way, instead of friending you, they could faux you, so you'd end up with a faux list of people that you need to keep an eye on so they don't do anything to mess you up. That would be more useful in an office environment, wouldn't it? A faux list. Thank you very much.
Now we have the major players of social media right now. Facebook, Twitter, and then YouTube. And then I was thinking about this. You know how in business over time the major players then usually converge, they consolidate? You know what that means? That means that sometime in the near future, you're only going to have one social media site, you twitface.
So because of our addiction to social media and all the things that we have to do with our work, we need time management to try to balance all this out. And one of the most important components of time management is multitasking. Now, as you know, multitasking is the ability to perform several tasks simultaneously without paying sufficient attention to any of the tasks. That's what multitasking is. We can't even walk and text without causing problems. Did you know this is true, that in London, they're actually putting pads on street lamps so people don't hurt themselves? You know what we should do instead? If you want to text and walk, you should have to wear a padded suit. Ladies and gentlemen, another big time saver I cannot overemphasize. The importance of cramming in as many acronyms into your communications as possible to save time. For example, imagine if you got an email that looked something like this. FYI, CFO needs ROI from SAS for SMP or GRD for FM, create SP and G, pub to WRS. Wait a minute, you actually understand this, don't you? Oh, this is scary. Technology, remember all the promises of how technology was going to increase our efficiency? Remember that? Did that really happen? Well, let's look at some examples. For instance, the phone used to just be used for making calls. Remember, that was pretty easy. Well, now you have your phone. It does your email and texting and surfing and music, the camera, GPS. And, by the way, how are you supposed to look at a website on your phone if you're over about 40 years old? You know what I'm talking about? You pretty much have to go like this. Oh, yeah, look at CNN. Wow, yeah. Let me see what's going on. And now we have billions of apps for all kinds of useful things, like grow a virtual chia pet, locate manhole covers while texting and walking, accepting collect calls from random prisoners, and there's even an app that shows you all the apps you used only once and you'll never use again. When I started this whole process, I went to the bookstore and I bought a book, 100 Ways to Save the Planet. 100 Ways to Save the Planet. One of the first things it said was buy less paper. So I returned the book. You see, this is why it's confusing. So let's talk about how we got to this point. Let's go back to the very beginning when dinosaurs were roaming the earth and they were vegetarian, which gave them terrible gas, which heated up the planet, and that caused global warming right there. And their extinction. By the 12th century, however, there was a huge advertising campaign for clean coal. And they said not only was it cheap and abundant, and yes, it did burn dirty, but they were working on a way to make it clean, and within a few years they were sure that it would be clean. In the 1990s, concern about global warming really captured public attention with the landmark British Knicker study. And as you can see, conclusive proof that the planet definitely was getting hotter. People said, okay, we've made all these advances. How can we tie this all together? We need somebody to come to the rescue and really save the planet and bring it all together. And that's what we got. Al Gore came to the rescue with sustainability. That's what the S stands for. Well, listen, thank you so much for being a good audience and laughing about technology. It's always important to keep a good sense of humor about it. And thank you for having me here. Did you enjoy that? Was that good for you? Thank you.